All right, we're back to the reasonable facsimile of a Alfa Romeo. We got the front axle under it. We got the rear end under it. We've got the shocks in place. And there was quite a bit of engineering going on to get this stuff on. And we had to, if you come around here, Emil, you can see it better. This shock, I had to build this piece here to weld onto the axle to hold the shock. There was no place else to put it. So we came from here to here with it. And when I roll it over, I'm going to weld it on the bottom, and we won't have any more problems. This piece here, and again, this is a reasonable facsimile of what I'm doing. This piece I cut out yesterday evening, and you can see how it does this. And then the radiator, because I'm going to use a Mercedes radiator on it, it's built different. The radiator grill shield, I cut that out yesterday evening, and the grill shield, which is that hole is not finished, but it will go in here like this, and wherever I decide to put it. And I got to do a little bit of trimming around where it'll go further forward and allow it to fit right. Once I get this in, fit right, then I got the radiator that goes behind the grill shield, and it'll go right out in here. I took the fan off the flathead, still haven't got enough clearance. I'm going to have to cut this part here off, and that'll give me enough clearance to lean the radiator and put it in. So we'll have that all done. And then back here, we've got the shocks we put in, and we mounted them the way a Mopar shock is mounted. I built this piece here and welded it to the axle. It's not finished yet. And then we came up here with a spreader bar, drilled holes in it. This is where the shocks will go on it. So we're coming along, and I outthought myself. We ordered these adapters. This is a Chevrolet rear end out of a Blazer. It's 3.75, 3 3/4 hole distance. And I thought this wheel here, the way we measured it is, I thought it was 4.5. Well, when we got the adapter in, it's a 4-inch bolt pattern on the wheel. So I've got to reorder adapters, which ain't fun to pay for them. And I was hoping that I'd already have it done. That's part of the game. Next step is putting the rear brakes on, which my pal Emil has got them down at his store, I think. Okay, and I got to pick them up today and put the rear brakes and the rubber lines and all that on it, and that'll be done. So we're coming right along. It's going to start moving a little bit faster.
Yeah, I was stunned to see the little bit of tin work getting done on it too. That's very neat.
Well, we had to do this first because if I didn't, everything is based off the grill shield.
Off the grill shield, okay.
Yeah, and we'll go from here working backwards.
All right.
And if you come over here on this side, this is just preliminary places that I put on here. This arrow points to the balancer, so I know this is as far back as I can go. Then I had 14 inches here that I could put the grill shield and the radiator in. And then I had 10 inches after I saw what was going on with this. The 10 inches is erased, but I had the 10 inches that I could work with in here. So everything's with a ruler and a trial and error.
How did you get this radius in here?
It was not a lot of work, but it took a lot of thought. I sat and looked at it, and if you look at the car, the model, I try, and again, this is not a replica that I'm building, it's just, this is a pattern. If you look at the car, see how that's radiused? Well, I looked at it, And then if you look, it's straight from right about there to right about there. That's what this is. This is a straight line. So this was easy to do. Well, I scaled it out from out here, went back to here, same distance, inches to 1/16 of an inch. And I made the straight line, I measured from over here to over here. Then, knowing these were, the tubes were 2 inches wide, I drew a line coming up here. Same thing over there, you can see the line. Drew the line. And then, now had this drawn, had these drawn. Now all I gotta make is this. And how do you make a radius like that?
You put a string in the middle and you draw it?
No.
Oh, that's how I do it.
But I don't know if you can get that. Look at it. How would you?
No, you might be right.
You can't get it. Here's learning over the years, taping cars, how to make angles like that. The first thing that I tried was this.
Okay.
So you lay this down here, and you see it doesn't meet the radius.
Right.
You can't get it to meet it any way you turn it. So I went out here, had garage, and looked at all this junk. Brought old bell housing up.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. It didn't work.
Okay.
So then I bought a fan shroud up. And this came out of a AMC, AMX.
Oh, the race car.
Yeah, and can you believe that was the shroud they had on it?
Wow.
So I laid it down, and voila.
Voila.
It made the radius. See how it, and I drew it in. Then I took this and put it like that, clamped it down, used a plasma cutter and cut it.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
Just something simple,
Yeah.
but if you haven't done it, it becomes very difficult.
Right.
You know? So it almost turned out perfect. And this, when I cut it out for a radiator grill shield to go in, that took me doing a little bit at a time.
Mm-hmm.
As Joe says, we snuck up on it. I would cut, put the grill in, mark, cut, put the grill in, mark, and eventually it comes out.
Yeah. Hand built all the way.
Yeah, and it's simple to build, but it's kind of complex.
Yeah.
That's
Handmade.
that.
Huh? Yes, sir. That is that. Very cool.
That side of the spindle, there should be, there might be spacers for it. But
There
all
are.
times, the front one up here, and that one, and that one, where it goes underneath.
Yeah.
Down there like that, just like that. Okay. See, there are bolts on there, and that other ear we got in bad shape over there. We'll put the bolt in it, and then I'll hit it with a welder on the side, or you can.
What are the front brakes off of?
They're a Speedway product.
Oh, okay.
By a kit, and that's what this is. The calipers, the brackets, the rotors, everything to put it on the front. $269. You know, and that's
That ain't bad.
hoses.
But you can't build it for that,
I
you
don't
know, by
think
the
so.
time you mess around.
Yeah. Very cool.
Because the rotors, what are they, $35 a piece?
Quite a bit more.
Are they?
No, not something like this. This looks like just Chevrolet, right?
No, this is Ford.
Ford. Okay, yeah.
It's a Ford bolt pattern.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a Chevrolet, I'm sure, but, you know, the calipers are what, 30 some bucks a piece?
No, a caliper like this would be about $20.
Okay.
So basically Chevrolet calipers.
Oh,
They
here's,
used to be Impalas
Here-
in the 70s.
here's the big deal. You remember I called you about the bearing?
Yeah.
And holy cow, looking all over, So I called Speedway, and then when I called them, and the guy said it, I remembered it. They send you an adapter that slides over the axle, and the bearing fits on that adapter.
Oh, okay.
But the problem with the adapter they put on here, it don't go on tight. And
See, now the ones we put on that other car and everything, I had to lightly drive them on. But yeah, but it'll still be all right because once the torque is on the bearing and everything, it'll hold it up.
seal it up.
So
Yeah.
she ain't going nowhere.
So I put them in, and the only bad thing I can say about it, they sell a terrible grease seal. Trying to put them on pain in the neck, they're so thin and crummy. They bend and torque, and I had a hard time putting them on. But I did get them on, barely.
All of them?